Welcome to U.S. Homeless Stories.
Like my veins are so bad in some areas, I actually have to draw marks with marker to like find where I go to hit.
I can just do one, and then that one turns into like twice a week, 3 times a week, and then it's like an everyday thing, and it's like, fuck, how did I get here again,
Sometimes it can be very bad. A person can be very sick at times, and go through days just not being able to function.
I ain't going front, bro. Like, I was smoking K2, all that type of shit. That shit had me hooked.
And when we got to Philadelphia is where we ran out of drugs that we brought with us, and we were like, oh, we'll just party here for a week. We had a bunch of money saved up, so we we're like, we'll party here for a week, and then we'll make it the rest of the way down. And that week turned into, that was last June,
month,
so that turned into a month, and then now
year.
it's almost a year.
Rows of people moving like zombies, bodies swaying, eyes blank, trapped in the grip of tranq and fentanyl, shuffling through one of the worst drug crises in America. Right now, 5,516 people here have no home at all. 1,178 of them are fully unsheltered, living on the concrete, under bridges, and in makeshift camps, caught in this zombie-like state right in the heart of the city of brotherly love. This is the raw, hidden Philadelphia that most people never talk about. Thousands of men, women, and families stuck in a daily battle on streets that once symbolized hope. How did this happen in a city built on second chances? And what stories are buried behind those empty stairs? Welcome to U.S. Homeless Stories, the channel that shows you the real, unfiltered truth about homelessness across North America. Today, we're going straight into the streets of Philadelphia to show you what's really happening. Statistics and the current picture. In Philadelphia, the numbers reveal a growing and deeply concerning homelessness crisis. The 2025 point-in-time count recorded 5,516 people experiencing homelessness on a single night, a 6% increase from the year before, marking the fourth consecutive year of rising numbers. Among them, 1,178 individuals were living unsheltered, a sharp 21% increase, while chronic homelessness rose to 1,612 people, nearly a 49% jump in just 1 year. Over the course of 2024, more than 15,000 individuals turned to the city's shelter system for help, including hundreds of families with children who are also caught in this cycle. These are not just statistics. They represent real people, men, women, and children, facing daily uncertainty without a stable place to call home. In neighborhoods like Kensington, North Philadelphia, Center City, and South Philadelphia, this reality unfolds every single day. Many wake up not knowing where they will sleep, how they will stay safe, or how long they can continue living this way. What does it mean when the number of people without homes keeps rising year after year in one of America's historic cities? On U.S. Homeless Stories, we bring these realities forward with compassion and awareness, so they are not ignored or forgotten. If this story made you think or feel something deeper, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the end to understand the full scope of Philadelphia's crisis. The reality of life on the streets. In Philadelphia, life on the streets carries a heavy burden for those with no stable place to call home. The 2025 point-in-time count recorded 1,178 unsheltered people across the city, a 21% increase from the year before. In Kensington alone, around 280 people were found without shelter, many living near the Somerset L stop in makeshift encampments beneath the elevated tracks. Every day, these men and women search for the most basic needs: a safe place to rest, food, water, or somewhere to wash. They carry everything they own from one block to another, never knowing when they may be told to move again. Cold nights, hot days, lack of privacy, and the constant need to stay alert slowly wear down both the body and the spirit. For many, the hardest part is not only surviving outside, but feeling invisible while the city keeps moving around them. A peaceful night's sleep, a private space to breathe, or a door to close at the end of the day can feel impossibly far away. That daily uncertainty becomes a quiet weight they carry everywhere. What must it feel like to wake up every morning knowing there is nowhere permanent to return to at night? On U.S. Homeless Stories, we bring these truths forward with compassion and awareness, so these lives are not ignored or forgotten. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the end to understand the full picture of life on Philadelphia's streets. A new type of substance, pushing addicts to their limits. In Philadelphia, a powerful substance known as xylazine or tranq has quietly taken hold of the street drug supply, especially in Kensington. Originally used as a veterinary sedative, it is now often mixed with opioids, making life even harder for people already struggling with addiction, poverty, and homelessness. For many, this is not just another drug problem. It has become another layer of suffering added to an already fragile life on the streets. Its effects can last for hours. People may fall into a deep, trance-like state, moving slowly, losing focus, and appearing disconnected from the world around them. Their bodies may still be standing or walking, but their minds seem far away. For someone living without shelter, that loss of awareness can make even simple things like standing up, finding food, staying alert, or keeping safe feel almost impossible. Hundreds of men and women face this reality every day. Many are not only fighting addiction, but also exhaustion, trauma, hunger, loneliness, and the constant pressure of surviving in public spaces. Some want to regain control of their lives, but the cycle of street life keeps pulling them back before they can find a way out. Each day becomes less about living and more about simply making it through the next hour. What happens to a person when a substance keeps taking away their strength, awareness, and sense of control, day after day? And how much pain can a community witness before it finally sees these people as human beings in need of help, not just figures on a sidewalk? On U.S. Homeless Stories, we share these stories with compassion and awareness, so these lives are not ignored or forgotten. If this story moved you or made you think more deeply, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the end to see the full picture of Philadelphia's crisis. Lack of long-term support, leaving many stuck. In Philadelphia, the critical lack of long-term support continues to trap thousands of people in a painful cycle of temporary shelter and repeated returns to the streets. The 2025 point-in-time count by the Office of Homeless Services showed 1,612 individuals experiencing chronic homelessness, a staggering 49% increase compared to 1,080 the year before. Although emergency shelters provide brief periods of safety, most programs only allow stays of 30 to 90 days. Once that time ends, many have no stable option left. In fiscal year 2024, more than 15,000 unique people turned to the city's shelter system, yet the shortage of extended support leaves hundreds cycling back into uncertainty, especially in neighborhoods such as North Philadelphia. Every day, these men and women face the exhausting reality of packing up their limited belongings and leaving the temporary shelter behind. They carry the heavy emotional weight of not knowing where they will sleep next week or next month. Many speak of the deep frustration and quiet despair that comes from wanting nothing more than a real chance to rebuild their lives, only to be pushed back into survival mode time after time. The constant instability wears down their spirit, making it incredibly difficult to focus on recovery, work, or family connections. The simple dream of having one consistent, safe place to return to at the end of each day remains painfully out of reach for far too many. What happens to a person's hope when temporary help repeatedly ends without a lasting solution? This ongoing cycle reminds us of our shared human responsibility to create support systems that truly help people move forward instead of leaving them stuck. Through U.S. Homeless Stories, we shine a light on these difficult truths so we can better understand the daily battles so many face. If this story has moved you in any way, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel to continue following these important real-life accounts from across America. I encourage you to stay until the very end to grasp the complete picture of this reality. Economic pressures and personal breaks. In Philadelphia, Powerful economic pressures combined with sudden personal setbacks continue to push hundreds of families and individuals from stable housing into homelessness each year. According to the Housing Initiative at Penn in 2025, the city faces a severe shortage of over 64,500 affordable housing units for low-income households. At the same time, 52% of renters are considered cost-burdened, forced to spend more than 30% of their income on housing alone. As rents continue to rise while wages remain stagnant for many working residents, the gap between what people earn and what they need to survive grows wider. A single job loss, an unexpected medical expense, or a family crisis can quickly turn a fragile situation into a complete loss of housing. Men and women who once maintained full-time jobs now find themselves unable to keep up with rising costs, no matter how hard they work. Single parents juggle multiple shifts only to face eviction notices at the end of the month. The emotional toll is heavy. The constant anxiety about making rent. The shame of having to explain to children why they must move again. And the deep exhaustion that comes from fighting a battle that never seems to end. Many describe the heartbreaking moment when they realize their best efforts are no longer enough to hold on to a stable address. Without a safety net, these economic and personal breaks leave people with few choices but to carry their belongings onto the streets, searching for any temporary place to rest. How many hardworking individuals are only one unexpected event away from losing their home? This reality calls on all of us to recognize our shared responsibility in supporting stronger safety nets before people fall through the cracks. On U.S. Homeless Stories, we continue to bring these difficult truths forward so viewers can see the human side of these struggles. If this story touches you, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel to follow more real accounts from cities across America. I hope you will stay with us until the end to understand the full scope of these challenges. Barriers to rejoining society. In Philadelphia, even when individuals feel ready to move forward and rebuild their lives, multiple deep-rooted barriers continue to stand in their way, making the journey back into stable society extremely difficult. A 2025 survey conducted by Drexel University highlighted that waiting lists for housing choice voucher programs in Pennsylvania often remain closed indefinitely, with many applicants facing delays of up to 2 years or longer before their applications are even reviewed. Nationally and locally, studies consistently show that individuals with prior criminal records are nearly 10 times more likely to experience prolonged homelessness. In Center City and nearby neighborhoods, background checks by landlords, missing or expired identification, poor credit history, and significant employment gaps create layer after layer of obstacles that feel nearly impossible to overcome. For many, the process itself becomes a daily emotional battle. They spend weeks and months gathering documents, attending appointments, and following up on applications, only to receive rejection after rejection or long periods of silence. The constant disappointment weighs heavily on their hearts, the frustration of wanting nothing more than a fair chance to prove themselves, the loneliness of watching the city move forward while they remain stuck in place, and the quiet despair that comes from feeling judged and excluded based on their past rather than their present efforts. Without reliable transportation or stable contact information, even simple tasks like attending interviews or picking up important mail become major challenges. This ongoing struggle leaves hundreds of determined individuals trapped between the desire to reintegrate and the harsh reality of systemic roadblocks that drain their energy day after day. How many capable and motivated people are being held back simply because the barriers in front of them are too high to climb alone? This difficult truth calls on all of us to reflect on our shared responsibility to help create fairer and more accessible pathways for those working hard to return to society. On U.S. Homeless Stories, we continue to bring these important and often overlooked realities into the light. If this story has touched you and made you think differently about the challenges so many face, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support allows us to keep sharing these honest accounts from cities across America. I truly hope you will stay with us until the very end to understand the full depth of this issue. Long-term solutions and the road ahead. In Philadelphia, City leaders and community organizations are increasingly moving away from short-term emergency responses toward comprehensive long-term solutions that aim to create genuine, lasting stability for those experiencing homelessness. Mayor Sherelle Parker's H initiative represents one of the most ambitious housing efforts in the city's recent history, a $2 billion commitment to create and preserve 30,000 affordable and supportive housing units over the coming years. This plan is paired with the One Philly plan to end street homelessness, which includes adding 1,000 new shelter beds while dramatically expanding permanent supportive housing programs that combine stable homes with ongoing services and care. These efforts also emphasize prevention programs designed to step in before families lose their housing entirely. For hundreds of men and women who have endured years of cycling between temporary shelters and the streets, these long-term approaches are beginning to offer something many have not experienced in a very long time: a real sense of security and hope for the future. The constant emotional weight of never knowing where they will sleep next month, the daily exhaustion of packing and unpacking belongings, and the quiet despair of watching temporary safety end again and again have left deep marks on their lives. With permanent supportive housing, many are finally able to have one consistent, safe place to return to each day. They can begin to focus on rebuilding relationships, pursuing steady work, and addressing health needs without the relentless pressure of immediate survival. The relief of having a true home, not just a bed for a few weeks, allows them to breathe more freely and plan beyond the next 24 hours. These developments mark an important shift on the road ahead, recognizing that real progress comes when housing is treated as the foundation rather than the reward after jumping through countless hoops. Coordinated services that provide flexible, ongoing support are helping to break the cycle that has kept so many trapped for years. How might consistent long-term support finally allow people who have spent far too many years without stability to rebuild their lives with dignity? This growing focus on sustained solutions reminds us of our shared human responsibility to back approaches that treat every person with respect and help them create meaningful, lasting change. On U.S. Homeless Stories, we continue to follow these important developments because they represent real possibilities for a different future in cities across America. If this story has moved you or made you reflect more deeply on these challenges, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support allows us to keep sharing these honest and meaningful accounts. I hope you will stay with us until the very end to understand the full scope of this journey and the hope that lies ahead. Philadelphia's future in the face of this crisis. In Philadelphia, the years ahead will be defined by how the city chooses to confront its homelessness crisis today. The 2025 points in time count has already shown another rise in numbers, with thousands still facing daily uncertainty in neighborhoods from Kensington to North Philadelphia and South Philadelphia. Yet a significant turning point is underway. Mayor Sherelle Parker's H initiative represents one of the largest commitments in the city's history. A $2 billion plan to create and preserve 30,000 affordable and supportive housing units. Paired with expanded prevention programs and coordinated long-term support, these efforts offer a real opportunity to move beyond temporary relief and create lasting stability for those who need it most. For the hundreds of men and women who have lived through years of uncertainty, this moment carries both heavy exhaustion and a quiet, fragile hope. They carry the emotional weight of never knowing how much longer they must endure the instability, the constant search for safety, the strain on their health and relationships, and the deep longing for one place where they can finally rest, belong, and begin to rebuild. The daily reality of having nowhere permanent to return to has tested even the strongest spirits. Yet many still hold on to the belief that change is possible if the city follows through with genuine, sustained action. What kind of future will Philadelphia create if we choose to invest in solutions that truly last? This critical time calls on every one of us to recognize our shared responsibility in supporting approaches that honor the dignity and potential of every person still searching for stability. On U.S. Homeless Stories, we have walked through these realities together because facing them honestly helps us all understand what is at stake. As this video comes to a close, we offer a heartfelt prayer for every man, woman, and child experiencing homelessness in Philadelphia tonight. May you find safety in the darkness, comfort in your hardest moments, and the strength to keep believing that a better tomorrow is possible. May kindness reach you, and may you one day have a true home filled with peace and belonging. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for staying with us until the very end. It means a great deal that you took the time to watch and truly listen to these important stories. If this journey through Philadelphia's reality has touched your heart, please give the video a like and subscribe to U.S. Homeless Stories. Your support helps us continue sharing these honest and human stories from cities across America.